this is BioPhoenix here, and today we're going to be doing the pickup video for the month of July of 2018. So it's been a pretty crazy time for me, mostly because last week I was actually gone for a week because I was actually visiting my hometown, and it wasn't a thing I was planning on doing from the get-go. It was actually like a last-minute thing that I figured, you know what, maybe I should like visit some friends and family and also sell some shit because next week, as you know, I'm actually going to be going to Europe finally. So, as you know, I've been really excited for that. So I figured, you know what, what's my soul, visit some family and all that type of shit. And also, like I said, I was selling some stuff. Like, not only was I selling stuff from like my own like little collection, but also I was actually finding a lot of really decent deals around here where I actually found like a lot of like 3DS games and found a lot of like Super Nintendo games that were like really fucking cheap, and I was like, you know what, I should jump on this. So yeah, I ended up like taking a lot of those and some of my own personal stuff, and you know, like doing some like trades and selling around like my old hometown place, and then whatever I like didn't sell to people that I knew, I ended up just taking to the game store around like my old place, and you know, just get what I get from there, because that one game store I used to go to there was always really good to me. But anyway, so that sums up all that kind of shit. Let's talk about some of the games that I got. So the first game we have here is actually one of the 3DS games I got in a lot, and this is actually the only one that I kept, because this is a game that I always wanted, but for some reason, I just never played it. I never, like, got around to actually buying it. So I figured I might as well take it because, you know, like, I got it for so little, and that happens to be The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Two Worlds. So, as you know, Link to the Past is like one of my all-time favorite Zelda games. It still is, and while this game is pretty much like a kinda sorta sequel to it, or just, you know, very similar to it in a lot of ways, and yeah, so why I never played this when it came out, I have no fucking idea, and of course I still haven't played it yet because I've been, you know, busy with other shit, but yeah. I don't know what else to say. It's fucking Zelda. If you don't know what Zelda is, then how the hell did you get here? And the next few games we got here are some Switch games I ended up getting, and I ended up getting a lot more Switch games than I thought I would. So that first one happens to be Sonic Mania Plus. So, you know, this is a game I wanted to get when it came out, and I'm not, like, totally, like, anti, like, digital-only shit. No, I'm not normally like that there, but for some reason, I just never got around to actually buying it on, like, either the eShop or PSN or any of that kind of stuff. I don't know, I was just busy with other games, and then when I was about to buy it, they announced this version. So it's like, you know what, maybe I'll just wait until I get that one, and well, really glad I did, because this game is fucking awesome, and I really love playing as, like, the two newer characters that they put out, which is Ray and Mighty the Armadillo, which first appeared in the one arcade game. I forget the name of it there, but of course I knew Mighty first from Knuckles Chaotix, and you know, it's actually really cool that, like, how differently that they play in this game. It's really awesome, and of course, as you know, this is actually the reverse cover, and this is like the normal cover that you see. I like this one because, you know, I like the Genesis cover arts. I always thought they were really cool. Though it would have been great if they used like the gray grid one, but oh well. This one still looks nice though. But anyways though, game's fucking awesome. Owlboy. So this is a game I've been hearing a lot of people talk about, and a lot of people that I know have been talking about it have been, you know, saying a lot of great things about it, and of course one of the great things that I remember looking up with this game before I bought it was that the graphics in this game are fucking amazing. Like, it looks like a Super Nintendo game on steroids, and then like the music is like very I don't know, classical sounding, or no, the proper term is orchestra. It's very orchestrated, and it sounds awesome. I love it. And the gameplay's really great, too. A lot of people seem to call this game a Metroidvania. I don't really know if I'd fully call it that. I'd say it's kind of like a Zelda game, but just instead of it being like a top-down dude with a sword, instead you're like a dude that like flies around, you carry people, and like the people that you carry have like different powers, like, you know, it's basically kind of plays like a multi-directional shooter in a way. It's very interesting, and I really like it a lot. I haven't like put a lot of time into this one though, but from what I did play of it though, I was really liking it, and well, yeah, as again, I can highly recommend this one. No matter which version you get of it, it's fucking great. Now, this one should be a no-brainer for anyone that knows the type of games I like, and that happens to be Octopath Traveler. So this is a game I was like always looking forward to ever since I heard about it. I was like, oh, that looks really fucking cool. It looks like a Super Nintendo game, like an old like SNES RPG. And well, now that I played it, and I've been playing through it quite a lot, this is actually the game I've been playing the most as of right now, and well, I fucking love it already. So, you know, like, the story in the game is pretty basic, but I think it's the characters that really make this game, like, really stand out. Like, I think, like, a lot of the characters, like, stories and, like, why, like, they're going on, like, an adventure, like, I think it's just really well done. I actually started out the game as Primrose, and, yeah, that story's, like, starts out, like, really fucking dark, but it was good, though, and I loved it. And of course, all the other characters all have some really interesting stories too, and the gameplay in it's also really good. It kind of reminds me of Bravely Default, but I think it's a lot better. Like, I think the boost system in this game works way better than, like, the whatever system they had in Bravely Default. I forget what the fuck they called it, but yeah, personally, I really love this game a lot. I think it's a lot better than, like I said, Bravely Default, because that game, like, started out good, but then, like, the more you played through it, it kind of just, you know, started to get off the rails, and of course it didn't help much where, like, I only liked, like, 2 characters of the game, where this one, I pretty much like all the characters. I think they're all pretty damn good, at least as far as I know. I've only missing, like, 1 character as of right now, and then after, when I get that 1 character, I'll probably just, like, do one of the other, like, Chapter 2 stories, but yeah, man, I can gush about this game all day because, man, it's really fucking good. And as for the last Switch game, and this is actually a game I got in last month, but as you know, I did the the greatest, like, gaming magazine ever video, and I said that I only got 1 game that month, and that game happens to be Muzy NX. I wonder if they called it NX because, oh my god, the code name NX. You know, remember when that was a whole big trending thing? Yeah. Well, anyways, this is a rhythm game, and as you know me, I've explained it many times in the past. I enjoy rhythm games. I don't know why I do. Like, they're the most, like, simplest type of games ever, and yet I just really like them a lot. I think it's because, like, they're really relaxing, and, you know, you can, like, play a game and just chill out to, like, a good tune or whatever. You know, I just enjoy that kind of stuff. And the music in this game, you know, there's a lot of fucking songs in this game. A lot more than I thought. And, yeah, the music in general, I think it's really good. But of course, you know, it's not going to be for everyone because, you know me, my most favorite genres are rock and metal. And there's not really a lot of those in this game. I mean, there are some, but not a lot. But, yeah, it's mostly, like, techno and trance. But I still like that type of music, though. I still think there are some good songs within those genres, and this game does have quite a bit of them. Of course, it does have its fair share of shitty songs, but, I mean, you know, you can't win them all. Even Guitar Hero and Rock Band had their shitty songs, too. So, anyways, though, this is just one I just enjoy, like, playing casually whenever I can. Alright, so as for the next few games, these are the games that I got when I was in my hometown, and 3 of them I actually got at the store, and 1 of them I got off of a friend of mine, and this one right here is on the PS1, and it is a RPG I actually have talked about recently, and of course I said it was one of those game series I never played, like, at all. And hopefully I will change that in the near future. And that happens to be Star Ocean: The Second Story. So, this is a game, like, I've always, whenever I've seen a copy of this game, it was always like $70, $80, and I'm just like, fuck that, no, like, fuck that shit. But then, like, just like when I was at the store, this is one of the ones I got at the store, I ended up paying $40 for it. So I was like, well, shit. Like, that's like the cheapest I've ever seen this game for, so I had to get it, and of course, like I said, maybe after when I'm done with Octopath, or whenever I take a break from it, I'll probably actually play this one now that I actually own it, and I'll have more motivation to actually play through it. Because, like I said in my, my one video of RPGs I've never, like, played at all, yeah, I've never played a Star Ocean game, and a lot of people seem to really like this one, so I think it might be my best bet to just start with this one and you know what, I'll finally get my foot wet in the Star Ocean universe. And as for the next game, this one's on the original Xbox, and it is an exclusive game, and that happens to be Breakdown. So this is a game I never heard about until, like, somewhat recent years. I want to say I heard about it, like, maybe, like, a year or two ago or something. It wasn't that long ago. And I always heard it was a pretty interesting game. In fact, when I looked at it, I kind of thought it was, like, it kind of seems a little bit like a Mirror's Edge, because it's like a first-person game, and yeah, there are shooting parts in it, so I guess you can say it's kind of like a first-person shooter, but you can also do like a lot of like, you know, like barrel rolls and like backflips, and there's a lot of hand-to-hand combat kind of stuff, so that's why I kind of say it's sort of like Mirror's Edge, though there's not as much parkour in this game, at least from what I played of it. But yeah, this game, okay, the controls in it are kind of hard to get used to, but once you get used to them though, it is actually kind of fun. Like, I actually love the melee combat in this game. It is actually like really fun, but it's also like really fucking hard. But the other thing I gotta say is that this game is fucking hilarious to me. I don't know why it is. Like, I don't know if it's because of like the physics in the game that make it funny, or the fact that like the chick at the beginning makes you like throw up a hamburger and you have to fucking look at it for like an entire minute, and I'm just like, God, why? I don't know what it is, but I just find this game to be extremely funny. But yeah, this is just a really weird-ass game that Namco put out. Alright, so the last two games we got here are actually on cartridges. As you know, I haven't bought, like, an old cartridge game in a long time, and a part of the reason is that I just never really found, like, any, like, game around that, like, I really feel like I have to have, or, you know, a lot of them are just really fucking expensive, and, you know, I have, like, other ways to play them, so, you know, like, there's just been a lot of, like, demotivations about it there, but, yeah, so I found out one N64 game, and this is a game that I just really wanted for a couple reasons, and that happens to be Winback on the N64. So yeah, this is actually one of the last N64 games on my wish list. Now, obviously, I'm not trying to own every single N64 game ever. I'm just like, I just have like a list of games at once I just feel like I just want to have, and this is one of them. For one of the reasons why I wanted this is because, you know, it's a Koei game, and as you know, I like a lot of their games, and this is kind of one of their very different games, and this game's actually pretty good. It's like a third-person shooter, but it also has like the duck and cover system, and it's actually one of the very early games to use that system before, you know, like games like, you know, like Uncharted or Gears of War. It's like it's kind of like that, but, you know, much older. And I still think it does play pretty well for the time. Obviously, it's not the most amazing game ever, but for the time it came out, though, it was pretty interesting. But yeah, though, a lot of people, for some reason, say this game plays like Metal Gear, and it's like, oh, it's the N64 version of Metal Gear, but I don't really know why. I mean, I guess, like, it looks like a Metal Gear game, but it doesn't play like it. But anyways, though, it's a pretty interesting, unique game from Koei that is very different from what their usual stuff is. Now, as for the last game that I got, this is actually a game that I bought off of a friend of mine, and he ended up giving it to me for a really good deal. In fact, it's actually an NES game, and as I said earlier, I'm pretty happy with the NES games that I still have. I did sell quite a few of them, though, but there was some of them, though, that I did keep because, you know, there were ones I either grew up with or ones that, like, I just really like, you know? So this is actually a game that I never would have thought about owning because it normally is really fucking expensive, but he ended up giving it to me for a good deal, and also the game actually has some little slight damages on it, though, but it still works, which is always important, and that happens to be Rockin' Cats, which is a action platformer from Atlas, and I'd say it's actually one of their better games on the system. So yeah, it's a game where you control like a blue cat, and you have like a grappling, like, punching glove thing. It's really weird. It's you know, this game kind of has like a 90s like American cartoon style, kind of similar to like Ren and Stimpy or something like that. Kind of makes me wonder if they ever planned on making this into like a big like cartoon series or something. That actually would have been kind of cool. I mean, fuck, if Bubsy and fucking like Cheetah Men from Action 52 can get a small short thing. I don't see why not this. But yeah, this is actually a game I played many times, and I've always really enjoyed it, even though the game does have its annoying parts, but, I mean, I think that's just NES games in general. A lot of them have some annoying shit, but, yeah, this one I actually always did really like. Also, the music's really good, and I would highly recommend emulating it, because, like I said, this game's normally, pretty damn expensive, though, but I only have it because, like I said, I bought it off a friend of mine, helped him out, and also I ended up getting it for way less than what it normally goes for. But yeah, it's definitely one of the last few games on the NES that I would have liked to have. I mean, they're not like a top priority or anything, but they're games that I'm like, yeah, it would be cool just to have it because, you know, I like the cover art, you know, I think it's funny. And also, like I said, I'm a huge fan of Atlas and I love action platformers, so. And that's all the games that I got for this month. So, as always, hopefully you guys get some good recommendations. And of course, like I already said, I'm going to be going to Europe next week, so of course I'm going to be doing 2 streams for this month or this time before I go, and then there'll be one other video that'll be uploaded, and then after that I'll start working on some games for Horror Month, so that's going to be really interesting. So anyways, with that being said, thanks for watching, commenting, and have yourselves a great day.